right, welcome to another edition of the Hisckey podcast. This is episode number 36, right? We agreed on that number, Dave?
Yes.
Let me just discuss this. All right, we're sticking with 36, Corona Chronicles, episode number 6.
If it isn't, I apologize.
Once again, we got Joe Kometz on the podcast for the Corona Chronicles, as he had every single Corona Chronicles, and of course we got our boy Dave. Dave, how you holding in there, buddy? I feel like
Dude,
you're going.
I'm losing it, man. I've done just about everything I could possibly do to entertain myself, but like I'm running out of options, man. As of recently, I've been playing pool with myself, so like I text myself the pool and I just play against myself, like the pool game on your phone. I've been doing that. I've done I've done basically everything there is to do to try to entertain yourself, like the house, trying to do backyard stuff, trying to do some indoor stuff. Just I've done it all. So like I've reached my max boredom. I don't even know what to do anymore. I gotta be honest with you. So.
How about you, Joey?
Hanging in there. I mean, kind of getting used to this at this point. Like I'm bored, but I'm in a routine, and honestly, knock on wood, the day's been going by really quick for me. So, it's kind of just whatever at this point. I'm just looking forward to when this is all over, like everyone else is.
Yeah, definitely me too. It's been pretty crazy, I gotta say, at the old supermarket. The days are pretty long. I've been doing like deliveries, all that. So I get there 8:30, do the deliveries, get back around like 1 o'clock. Then we're people are like picking stuff up at that point, so I bring all those out to like the people's cars, and then like. Right at the end of the day, it always seems like there's one thing that always comes up, and then I have to like stay longer. So I'm supposed to leave at 5, but I always end up leaving. Like today, the truck came at like 5, I think like 4:30 or something like that. So they're like, "Hey, you think you stay and like help put up the grocery load and stuff?" I was like, "All right," I was gonna leave. So yeah, another like 11-hour day. So yeah, these days are definitely long, and then having to come home and do homework and still keep up with those responsibilities. Gotta say, pretty difficult, but grinding through it.
So it's basically like Corona didn't happen at all. It's basically your regular schedule. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. Because I mean,
no.
Okay, that's a lie because you don't work as much as you do doing. Okay,
before Corona, my life was pretty relaxed. Like. Yeah, I still had to go to work and go to school, but I was only working like 24 hours. It wasn't really that much. And then Corona happened, and then school went bye-bye, and I was like, oh, awesome. Now I don't have to go to school. And I just keep my regular hours at work. And then work was like, oh, you're not going to school anymore? You want to like not ever leave? And that's kind of where I've been.
Yeah, you might as well do like the SpongeBob episode and just set up like your bed and everything over there because you're basically there all the time. You might as well start doing that.
There's a lot of people working like 7-day weeks and working like 10, 11 hours each day. It's it's tough too because we have so many people that are in the store at one time. It's not like you're in I don't know. It's not like you're outside working where you guys can like be separated or be in a cubicle. Where it's like everything can be separated. No, you're like right there with customers who you don't know if they're sick or not. And man, it's kind of what we're dealing with as far as like the supermarkets are concerned.
Do you get a say of like how your schedule is made, or they just kind of make it for you and you kind of have to adhere to your schedule?
Well, lately it's been. I mean, yeah, when I had school and stuff, obviously that it's the obligation over work, but, with everything being so flexible now, it's almost like, I feel like the word taking advantage of is like too much, because they're obviously like, if I had to do work and stuff, they'd be like, yeah, go home, go do work, but you almost feel obligated to stay there because there's just so much work you have to do. And,
yeah, exactly.
There's other people just not coming in.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, obviously some people are pretty freaked out about the whole thing, and they have like family members they don't want to get sick, so they don't want to be out there with all the customers. So yeah, some people have taken a few days off. We had one girl who's come back this week. She'd been quarantined for 2 weeks, and she came back and they cleared her and everything. We're like, yeah, you're good to go back to work. But so we're starting to get a little bit better. We're starting to get a better routine as far as all like the deliveries and all that are concerned. And
Yeah.
but still, like I said, man, I mean these are trying times, especially for the guys in the grocery stores. So I give anyone who's working out there a lot of credit for
Facts.
doing what you're doing, because I'm going through the same thing.
Facts. Joe, so do we have any updates on the old Corona?
It's getting better. I'll tell you that. Even though obviously, whenever you look in the news, I feel like that's the problem now with like the news and like I'm saying, like media, like even like sports media. I feel like it's all now everyone's trying to doom and gloom and make everyone feel worse than it really is. If you look at the numbers, like every day the projections are going down, which is a good thing. If you look, to yesterday into today, only 18 people got hospitalized with coronavirus, which compared to what it's been, last week it was like in 400, 500s. So in terms of hospitalizations, you're already seeing this start to go down. Like the curve is way down. But then you look, they're still doing a ton of new testing, and the more they test, the more cases they're going to find. But really, you've got to look at the hospitalizations because those are the severe ones.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what's most important. Sorry to interrupt you there, Joe, but
No,
that's probably the most important, right? Is like making sure we're
100%.
keeping the hospitalizations down. And did they actually end up opening up? Because I know Southern was supposed to open up like a little, like if stuff got really, really bad, they were going to have like a quick hospital. Do you know if they opened that up or not? Or is that still
I think they did. I'm not positive on that. Okay. I know they were, like you said, they were thinking about it, and I think it was them and Yale were considering, doing that if it got really bad. And I think they might have opened some rooms, not, like the whole dorm, but, because like I'm saying now, hospitalizations are starting to go down, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Numbers it's starting to kind of plateau a bit in terms of how many people are getting it day by day. The one thing that's still going up is, deaths, but that makes sense if you consider, you get hospitalized and 2 weeks later, you'd pass away from it, unfortunately, if you're really that bad. So, people are still getting concerned because they're seeing deaths still go up, but it's not like, I'm walking down the street and I just die. I've been sick for 2 weeks from when I got hospitalized. So, theoretically, in 2 weeks from now, the deaths should be only at 18 because, it was 18 hospitalized yesterday and today. And obviously, it's everyone who gets hospitalized doesn't die from it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, you got to really pay attention to how many people are getting hospitalized because that's how you know how bad this is. And, like you see in New York City today, they closed all public pools for the whole summer, which I think is a bit extreme. And then they are considering closing all New York City beaches. I'm not saying the entire state of New York. I'm saying like the beaches in New York City, like Coney Island and all that stuff. But, I was telling my dad that, eventually it gets to a point. I know we're trying to close stuff to, make everyone feel safe. But there comes a point where closing too much becomes a bigger problem because it's going to eventually if you tell people you can't do anything at all for 3 months, people it's how anarchy starts. It's how
reverse psychology basically. It's like you tell people not to do something and then they're going to do it because they don't like being told what to do basically.
And especially in the dead of summer, if you start closing all these beaches, imagine in Florida, if they closed all the beaches in Florida in the summer,
the amount of
how
money
hot it
they'd
is.
lose.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Crap.
I'm seeing all these, people like De Blasio, or I think is that the mayor, De Blasio, New York? I feel like it is.
I don't know.
Is it Comey?
Comey. There's Comey. I think it's Cuomo is the governor of New York, but I think the mayor of New York City is De Blasio. So I don't know. I could be wrong. But, like I was saying, he already closed all public pools indefinitely, and he was thinking about doing the same thing with the beaches in New York City. But, man, like I was saying to Dave, I don't know if you heard or not when you're helping your dad, but this is, eventually you got to stop closing everything because if you start telling people, hey, you can't do anything at all, and the more this goes on, let's say we can't hang out or we can't go down to Milford, even though the beaches are gross in Connecticut. We can't go down to the beach one day. Eventually, if you have nothing to do, this is where you start to see people start to try to revolt and overthrow governments and how anarchy starts.
Exactly.
Because people are just going to go crazy and they don't have an outlet to do something. So.
Well, even with the jobs and stuff being closed down and all that stuff, people are like, if this goes on for like more than a month or two, you're gonna see people actually like go back to work even though they're being told
Yeah.
not to. You're gonna see people like leaving their houses and like, because money's money. You gotta
Yeah.
make money somehow. You can't just be sitting in the house all day. You can't tell people to what. But and it is a safe thing. The safe thing to do would be stay home and quarantine yourself, all that. But like again, how long can you sustain that?
We're
Financially.
already, yeah, we're already staring down the barrel of the next Great Depression if this doesn't turn
Yeah,
around.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like right today, but if this keeps going on, like, let's say, because like the example, we always use, we're planning on going on vacation in the last weekend in July, the first weekend in August. It's normally when
We're
we go.
going. We're
Yeah,
going. Okay.
exactly. We want to go too. My dad's like, if stuff is still closed at that point, we're going to be in bad shape.
facts.
The global economy as a whole in general too is going to be like awful. That's why because even Trump was saying today, he was having a big news conference tonight at 6:00 about reopening the country. Because even he knows, he's like, listen, I feel like eventually we're going to get to a point here where you're almost going to have to risk getting it if you don't want the country to collapse.
Exactly.
And I know that sounds awful because we want to make sure everyone's safe. We want to protect everyone, make sure everyone's okay. But there comes a point where people need an outlet. Like I know, like I always say, they need to bring sports back. It's not just because I'm selfish and I like sports. People need something to do to distract them from everyday life and not doing anything.
Exactly.
And the more you postpone this and close that, the worse the psyche of America is going to get. If you don't reopen the country, people are already losing jobs left and right, which is awful. Families are losing money.
Yeah.
It was also a big problem. And eventually you just kind of say, all right, screw it. If I get it, I get it. And I hope obviously that's not the case. I hope we're all fine because eventually, we're gonna get through this. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of a when.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So what industries do you think, obviously besides the obvious ones, what industries right now do you think are benefiting from this whole thing?
Porn, for the first place.
True.
They're still making video porn. Like they're like people are still like filming porn, which is awesome, hilarious. But healthcare. I mean, that's really the only real business that's still all right is like Carvana.
Grocery stores are like the only places that people go to like entertain themselves.
Yeah, honestly.
Like I was gonna say, you're talking about people that are like they have to entertain themselves. This weekend, the roads, I hadn't seen them this busy in a month. Because I've been going on these deliveries all the time, and all of a sudden I was like, man, it's really, really busy, and everyone's going to just the grocery store because they have nothing else to do. Problem with going to the grocery store is a lot of the grocery stores are limiting the amount of people you can put in, like have go in there. So only one person going, another person's gonna have to like wait in the car and stuff. And so I don't know if
even
going to the grocery store is the
even
best thing for anyone to do.
Exactly. And exactly. That form of entertainment is limited. You can't really, if you can't bring a whole group of people in with you, how are you can entertain yourself? Exactly.
Okay.
But no, and obviously the healthcare industry right now, the hospitals and all that stuff, they're probably making a killing.
Yeah, not in a good way, but they are making more money.
They're killing all right there.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way. But
yeah, all right, okay.
No, okay.
Even that, like you said, the grocery stores. Like I know, like for us, because I'm home now. Because normally I'm out at school, and like even like Michael, like my mom and dad are like working all the time, so we're spending so much more money on food now. Because my fat ass is home eating a lot, but also they're home more often too, so they're going to want to eat at home more rather than if they're at the office getting something while they're out or anything. So grocery stores and stuff are still making a ton of money. So
it's crazy. We'll go through like a day where like it seems not very busy, and then all of a sudden you look at the figures at the end of the day, and because of this whole like delivery thing now, us going to like their house. That's more revenue because you have to pay for, number one, you got to pay for like all of the gas and stuff. And then people who even come in and just are doing like curbside pickup, we're charging a little bit more for that. So like that, that money adds up pretty good. So we're still making a considerable amount of money, despite having limits, despite we're testing people's like temperatures and all that. making sure like they're healthy before they come in. And then now starting Monday, believe it or not, you're gonna have to wear a mask. Like Monday, it's mandatory to wear a mask going into the store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It should be like that though at this point.
I saw some lady today. She came. She like heavy smoker. You can just smell her from a mile away. No, like the lady's old too. Like probably in her like 60s, I'd say. No mask, no gloves, and she's touching all the food and stuff. I'm like, you're gonna contaminate all the food, and you're gonna get other people sick just because you're lazy and you don't care. That's another problem too. It's just like the people just are not taking it seriously at all. They don't care, and for all the precautions that we're taking, and it's not a lot of people. I'd say 90% of the people are taking it seriously and making sure to keep their social distance. But there's always like that one guy who comes in and he's just like, oh, I don't believe in this stuff, and he's walking around with no gloves on, and he's putting other people at risk. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what sucks.
Have you guys seen those videos of people like who are actually sick and then they spit on the stuff in the grocery store or like sneeze on stuff on purpose?
Right?
I don't know if it's here. I don't know.
China, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
who spit on the elevator.
Yeah, and sneezing on foods. Yeah,
Honestly,
honestly, I feel like
they're pigs.
If again, it sounds really messed up and over the top, but if police people, if you caught doing that, you should be shot like right there. I'm sorry, you're putting a whole like people's life at risk because you're selfish and you want to be basically a psychopath. Rather than contain yourself and quarantine yourself and then get through it, it's like, oh, I'm damned. Well, then everyone else has to be damned with me too, which is that mentality that that doesn't make any sense. So, I've seen the videos and that got me really upset because it's not right.
No, Dave, that's wrong, bro, and they should be shot. I agree.
That is messed up.
Dave, are you gonna be the one? Are you gonna be the trialer and executioner?
You know what? Screw it. I'll do it. I'll put on a mask.
Name your method.
If I see them, I just bring out a gun and boom, done. You're out of there.
Kill them?
That's effective. That'll do it.
Exactly. Also another thing too. Have you guys heard? Speaking about people who are not taking this seriously, there's this new conspiracy going on now. It's like 5G. Have you heard of that? 5G is actually causing the corona.
Oh.
Like, have you guys heard about that?
I believe it. Have you ever watched Kingsman, the movie?
I heard that theory, and yes, Kingsman was a great movie.
Kingsman was a great movie. It made a lot of sense. The first one.
Yeah,
the first Kingsman was awesome.
So that guy's plan was like, oh, give everyone free Wi-Fi, or I think, no, free service. And everyone was like, oh, dude, free service? Yeah, I'll take it. And then he I forget what he did, but he just killed half the population.
Yeah, I think it was like high frequency, like something like with frequencies and stuff like that, like in the phones. I don't know how they, and then he made everyone go crazy and then killed everyone.
So Dave, this conspiracy, I'm sure someone watched Kingsman and was like, oh, this makes sense. Yeah. The whole 5G thing.
Yep. But
I saw someone debunk the whole 5G thing in a second because it was like, what about all these countries that don't have 5G, like Italy, like China, like...
It's a conspiracy. I mean? It's a conspiracy, dude.
Exactly.
They have it. They have it. You just don't know
it.
Yeah. I mean, but do you think 5G will, I don't know, again, it's a new thing. Do you guys think it's gonna somehow be harmful in some kind of way, shape, or form? Do you guys think that it's just people are just being psychotic? I
don't know how it could be, Dave, because were there people going around saying, oh, when 4G came out, it was going to be harmful?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. People are saying this is harmful to us and all that stuff. It's emitting more radiation. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
yes, it is. I mean, it is at this point. I mean, I don't care. Does it make my phone faster? Hey, guess what?
Yeah, we're gonna die anyways eventually. So why not? Screw it.
At this point,
eventually we're gonna get to 15 kg, and then every single time someone uses their service, a nuclear bomb just drops somewhere. Yeah. Like another planet. I don't know. Let's move on from coronavirus. I kind of did this real quick, but NFL draft's coming up, Joe. Are you excited about that? This should be by far the most interesting draft because the way they have it set up right now, it's almost like a Skype call from Roger Goodell's basement, and that's where the draft's going to be held. I saw that Harry Connick Jr. is going to sing the national anthem from his house, and then it's just going to be like,
Nice.
I just can't wait for it to be like him finishing it, and then just like back to Roger Goodell and just like, thank you, Harry, that was fantastic.
Yeah, and he's gonna be sitting there
and then,
just like
that
this.
moment's going to be so funny, and then obviously a lot of people have been saying like. There's definitely potential of like it getting hacked, this call, and I guess teams are pretty concerned about that potentially happening and being distracting and kind of messing with the whole draft process. So this will definitely be the most unique draft. Joe, you any anything to add on from there?
I also love it too because there's going to be those like 2 or 3 teams that absolutely botch their pick because of the fact that they don't have real scouting in anyone. Like, yeah, college and stuff, but like, pro days, and combines are big thing. Like, the NFL combines will happen, but the pro day is for a lot of people, it's their last pick, especially for the people, let's say, who's the Washington quarterback? I think Jacob Eason. Eason, like his pro day was going to be big because it was going to kind of help sway what was going to happen with him. And like for a lot of these people that didn't get to go to the combine, they were going to have pro days, and that's kind of where your last chance to get yourself, some exposure. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially in the later rounds. Like the first round, I don't think is going to be that different. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that one team that drafts a bust. There's going to be that one team that drafts this kid too high when he should have been like a third rounder. That's just how it goes. But it's going to be intriguing to see like the Saturday, like rounds 4 through 7. And see how that works.
Kind of like they're just rattling them off quick, and Roger.
They're going to be naming people.
Like, okay,
heard
another one. Yeah, that should definitely be interesting to see how that works out and how like the trades. I'm just interested in how the broadcast is going to work in general because this is by far the first sporting event since I guess NFL free agency that I'm actually kind of looking forward to, and
this is going to break like so many ratings records.
Oh no question.
Yeah. This is going to be the most viewed draft of all time because think about it. This is the first thing anything sport wise in over a month. It's crazy.
And there's that, and there's also the fact that during this time there's typically NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Major League Baseball is typically in the swing of things, so people are distracted watching those as well. And then now, this is like the only thing on for sports fans. So yeah, it should definitely shatter plenty of records, and I think it should be definitely interesting to see how they try to continue to make this entertaining, not having the big stage where guys are going up, shaking hands with the commissioner. It being more of like I guess they're doing something with EA or something like that, where it's like a virtual them walking up to the podium or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're doing like their own custom things, so. Yeah, should definitely be a unique draft. You excited for the Jets? Do you think they're gonna make any big splashes here?
They're gonna mess it up like they always do. If Judy is available at 11th, I think if they don't take him, I'll be shocked. We need a receiver because in the offseason we went heavy in getting O-linemen. So I think if we don't get a receiver, we're fools. But
I heard
it's the Jets, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't.
Right. I also heard that the Broncos might make a big move to try to move up above the Jets to try to get Judy over the Jets or whoever they decide. But
the Broncos are picking before the Jets. I think they have a second pick though in the first round. I know they're picking like 7th or 8th, and they were projected to get Henry Ruggs out of Bama. I don't know. I looked at the mock draft. I haven't looked in like a month at mock drafts. I've been trying to detox from sports now that I don't have any to watch.
I like Dave, how you have.
Any comments on the draft? Have you ever watched a draft before, Dave?
No, I have not. I've never done that before.
Really?
No, but really quick, I was just gonna say, Joe, I like how you have confidence in your Jets and how like you're just really confident in that team of yours.
Here's how it works, Dave. I don't have any confidence, and the Jets do one thing good, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, we're back. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. Like I already have a prediction. I made this prediction right before we came back. I think I told you guys this. Somebody said this on one of the last podcasts. I have Jets beating the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. What year would it be? Not this year. I think it would either be senior year. So 2022. that Super Bowl 57, I believe, or 56. I have us beating the Seahawks.
I don't know about that one, but all right. I highly doubt that. You guys are probably gonna botch something, and you guys are not even gonna qualify for the playoffs. So I'm not really concerned at all.
Why would you say that to him? Come on, he's a Jets fan. Give him some hope.
Nah.
I'm sitting here. My big hope is A, there's a new playoff slot. They're having 7 teams per conference, and B, my big thing, the AFC East is wide open for the first time since I've been alive that I've been watching football. Because Tom Brady, for the first time ever, Brady's gone. The Pats are still going to be good, but let's be honest here. I'm not expecting them to win the division this year. I know, Matt, you're a big Pats guy, but I don't think you guys are going to win the division this year.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we got Bill Belichick, man. I mean, I think he's just the ultimate trump card every single time. Oh, Welker's gone. Oh, but they have Brady and Belichick. I guess they always had that, but now I'm kind of like, no Brady. And I really do think the Patriots are going to make a move for a quarterback in the draft. I don't think they're going to stick with Stidham. I tried to convince myself, and I actually did convince myself that Stidham.
You did. You 100%. You did.
100% convinced myself that he was a franchise quarterback. Saw some highlight film of him, and I was like, oh yeah, he's a beast. I don't know if he's going to be the guy, but from everything I've read, I think Rappaport came out with a report the other day, and he says like the Patriots are definitely going to draft a quarterback in the first round. And I just feel they have a lot of picks there in like the 3rd, 4th round that I feel like they can make a nice package. Put him. We have Joe Tooney on a franchise tender, which I really don't think we're going to keep him around. We're paying him like left tackle money, so I don't think they're going to really keep him around. I feel like they can package him with a first-round pick and some mid-round picks and really move their way up. And I'm saying, man, I mean, I know this might sound outlandish, but Detroit has the number 3 pick. They are not obviously going to win it this year. So I think maybe for them, accumulating some extra mid-round picks along with a phenomenal guard, I think there could be a situation where the Patriots could really move up to draft their guy at quarterback.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Do you guys regret letting your your backup QB, I forget his name,
Garoppolo?
Yeah, do you guys regret letting Garoppolo go? Because I feel like if he stayed or whatever, he would have been like.
How many Super Bowls has Garoppolo won without the Patriots?
Wait, you said it?
Yeah. How many Super Bowls has Garoppolo won when everything was in San Francisco? 0. Brady won once with he won against the Rams. He just barely lost to the Eagles. He beat the Falcons. And so you know what? It's like it's whatever, man. Like, do I regret it? Yes, I know. Listen, Garoppolo was a phenomenal quarterback, but it was just impossible to keep them both around.
That's true.
And, I don't know. Maybe if Garoppolo stayed around, we still could have won those Super Bowls because, especially in the Rams Super Bowl, the defense was really the ones that carried us. So I don't know, man. It should be interesting. I know everyone is like, oh yeah, Buffalo, they're the real deal, but they still have Josh Allen, bro. And Josh Allen, when it comes down to it, when it comes to the 4th quarter, man, and Josh Allen needs to make a big play against a good Patriot defense, and it's freaking 20 degrees outside. It's like, I don't know, man. I still just have that feeling that the Patriots just have that. They have that X factor. But you know, that's what 20 years of success does to you, I guess.
Overinflate your ego. Got it.
I cannot wait. And there's going to eventually be a year. I don't know when it might be 80, but the Pats are going to be like 0-16, and I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to be like, yes, finally.
Finally.
It feels good.
Yeah, but until
until
that day, I'll just continue to
glue and be cocky. Yeah.
Rest in my laurels here.
Watch, you say that now, you just jinxed your whole team for this year. You guys are going to do terrible.
Oh, well. We'll see. I mean, there definitely is the possibility of things going bad, but I mean, even if we do bad this year, we have $100 million of cap space the next year where we can just go maybe get, I don't know, just some guy named Deshaun Watson to be our quarterback and restart the franchise. So there's that option.
If I were you guys, I would tank this year and get Trevor Lawrence with the 1st overall pick next year. In the
how many times have you said that with the Jets, though, where you're like, the Jets, they just need to tank this year. And they'll get Sam Darnold, and then you guys.
I say that every year.
Then he gets mono.
Listen, hey, you know what? Sam Darnold, though, he has talent. He just hasn't had a good team around him. The mono definitely killed his year. But think about it, dude. As bad as the Jets, and I was actually make fun of him. we still somehow went 7-9 this year. For me, that's like a Super Bowl. Like 7-9, that's pretty good compared to the past couple of years.
And congratulations.
You know what I mean? Listen, dude, I'm gonna hang my hat on that. 7-9, I'm proud of that.
7-9. I don't even think I've ever seen the Patriots go 7-9 since I've been born.
We can now improve on that. I'm happy with that.
You know what, Joe? For your sake and your dedication towards this team and whatnot, I actually hope you guys do well for once, so you can die happy.
A quick salute to our boy Joe Comess, who's going through the
still here.
Wait, so when did you become a Jets fan then? When did you
basically when I was a little kid, my dad says this to me. I don't know if this is 100% true, but one of my dad's like best friends, I call him like my Uncle Rich. He's a huge Jets fan. And when I was little, he would always tell my dad, I'm going to make him a Jets fan because my dad's a Steelers fan. He's like, no, he's going to be a Steelers fan like me. But my Uncle Rich would always buy me. I had a Chad Pennington jersey. I had all these Jets jerseys and stuff and all this Jets gear when I was little. And like the first NFL game I ever watched, like the Jets played like the Raiders or something, and the Jets won. So I was like, oh, hey, I'm wearing the jersey. I'm a Jets fan.
What about you, Matthew?
Birth is pretty.
Birth?
It's not been a very.
Oh yeah. Your parents are. Yeah, your parents were. Yeah, no, that's
we're
fair.
Boston through and through here. My dad's from Lynn, Mass. So there was really no choice now.
Yeah.
It's either. My dad's very strict about that. It's Boston or it's like you sleep outside.
You choose another team.
But it's also not been. It's not been very difficult because all our teams. I've seen every single one of our teams win a championship. So it's not been a very difficult.
Big
to
flex
be a
over
Boston
here,
fan.
but whatever.
And on the other end, out of all of my favorite teams, only one of them has made it to a final series once in my lifetime. That was the Mets in 2015. Damn. I don't count the 2000 because even though I was alive for it, I was like, not even a year old yet. But the Mets are the only teams. I'm Jets, Mets, Memphis Grizzlies, and I don't have a hockey team because I'm not a big hockey guy. But out of those three teams, the Mets are the only one to have made it to the finals or the final series for that, and we lost 4-1 to the Royals. I think so. We lost 4-1, but looking back, dude, we lost 4-1, but 2 games we lost in extra innings, and another game we were up like 4-0, and we lost like 11-4.
Yeah, Terry Collins blew that last game with. I think it was Harvey. He put Harvey in the 9th inning, and then the Royals came back, and I think they won.
Yeah, Harvey. That's when Harvey's career just went.
Yeah, that game on it was.
Literally, that game I think messed with his like confidence and stuff. He was already having some off-field issues a little bit, but that just brought it all down.
Got it.
Dave, got a topic for us? It's that time of the show, man.
It's not really a topic, really. It's just a nuisance of mine that it's kind of just been, I'm kind of getting really angered by this phenomena all the time happening.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you know how, just in general, like, the new fad or the new, when was the duck face or the duck lips invent? Like, when did that come about? When did that become popular? You guys remember?
I remember the Kylie Jenner lip challenge and stuff.
You think it was that
yeah,
around
Put your
that
lips
time?
in the shot glass.
You think it was around that time?
Sabina had to stay home from school for a day because she got her lips infected.
God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah, no, I'm just tired of that whole like duck lip thing because I just see it all the time and it's getting annoying. Like, it's just, do something new, please. Like, we need something different besides the same old face. I cannot stand that at all.
Dave, show me that face again, buddy.
No, see, no, this is a segment coming on for the things we had and things we like. You're gonna see a picture of it. I was trying to make a meme of it, and Joe took it too far. Basically, we're gonna bring up that part up towards the.
Dude, it is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. You did it
we'll talk about it later. But I'm just saying personally, though, I think we need to come up with a new facial structure, rearrangement, or whatever for pictures, because I'm just tired.
And you know what? You know what, Dave? You should be the one to start the movement. Go ahead, Dave. Make a face for us. Make a face for us.
I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Give me a couple of.
Just do a face real quick.
That's it.
That's it right there. That's the new face.
I'm just saying. Every girl, every girl I know, just every picture, duck face, duck lips. I'm like, dude, please, enough is enough. I can't deal with this.
I don't see it as much as you see it.
Are you sure?
I don't think this is as bad
I
as
feel like that fad kind of went down a bit, buddy.
Sure?
I don't know.
Sure. I don't know, because every like people I snap, it's always the duck lips. Like I go into my Instagram or whatever. I think every picture a girl has, it's usually duck lips. I'm like, dude, just smile or something else. Like there's other features, other facial, features you could, or other facial what do you call it? You guys can make
expressions.
expression. That's what I meant. I couldn't think of the word for some odd reason, but
All right, I'll take your word for it, buddy.
yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm getting annoyed of it. That's all I have to say. It's just really annoying for me. So.
All right, I think that's a good segment into things we like, things we hate. Who's up first today?
I think it's me because Dave went last time.
All right, so I believe it's you, Joe, then me, then Dave.
Yes.
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
because it goes like clock, or I don't know.
Matter, so
It goes
one last-
something in this direction. So, thing I like, it's kind of two things. They're both, once again, sports related. One, this is college football related. Because of the lost revenue from basketball, the universities are considering expanding the playoff immediately to 8 teams to get, more revenue and make up for lost revenue, which
Like
would be
that.
amazing,
Mm-hmm.
having an 8-team playoff. Because then it's like real, you know what I mean? Because unlike college basketball, where 68 teams, is like a good number for 351 D1 teams. In D1 football, like big D1, A football, there's only 130 teams. So having your top 8, that's plenty. But that's my little thing. Like also part 2, Trump wants to bring back sports immediately, and he said that it's going to come back soon. And then when it does, it'll start out with no fans, which makes sense. Then eventually, once things start getting better, hopefully soon, it'll be fans, but there has to be 2 seats in between you.
I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, I love it, man.
I'll take it, man. Like at this point, I'm just watching reruns of old games that I already know is gonna happen. I just want some live sports, man. That's all I want. I just want to come home, the long 11-hour shift at freaking Oliver's, and sit down and watch the
Sports.
Sox lose to the freaking Blue Jays by 10 runs. I don't care. I'll watch that.
Anything at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Like playoffs, like the NBA playoffs and stuff could come back immediately. Same thing with NHL playoffs.
That'd be awesome, man. NHL playoffs, they are the best. So, Joe, anything you hate?
The greatest rivalry in sports continues, me versus social media. And, just more and more dumb little trends in games that are just annoying me. That's all. Not really.
What's the latest trend now, Joe? I haven't really been.
Duck lips.
Oh, I saw one that was like your song, like the 30-day song challenge.
I saw. Yeah, I've been seeing that one.
Yeah, what is that about?
Song I listen to in social isolation, and it's like just
and it's like every day you have to share a song. Like day 1 is a rap song, day 2 is a song from the 70s. Ooh. All this stuff.
Ready?
Here's a throwback from 2010. Ooh.
No one cares.
That's not.
No one actually cares. Like,
there was one today. It was like the high five challenge, and it was like someone sends a video high fiving the screen, then you got a high five, and it starts
Dave,
a whole
your
chain reaction, and it's awful and it sucks.
Oh,
I saw another one. I'm not going to get into on camera because I'll get people mad. I'll tell you guys about it when we're done recording. But it was the dumbest thing ever, and I want to just punch everyone. And I've been singing a lot lately. But I will talk about that later on.
Right, yeah, okay. That's
get
fair.
that here. And yeah, that's the things I hate.
Yeah, no, Joe, I don't blame you, man. It's I've seen the same thing over and over again. Will also get me infuriated. So yeah, that's why lately I've been sitting on my phone and everything. I'm trying to read a book and everything too, so just to get my mind off the social media.
Dr. Seuss, Dave?
Nope. I read books that actually have substance to it. I'm reading a book about training like a Navy SEAL right now. It's pretty dope, actually.
Nice.
Sick.
Nice. All right, so I guess I'm up. Things I like. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to this lady. I don't know her name, but yesterday she donated 18 large pizzas to Oliver's. Some random lady who was just a customer, and she bought us all lunch basically, and it was pretty dope. I gotta say, as much as it does suck going to working these long hours and really honestly kind of putting your life on the line. It's not great. It sucks, but the small things like that and people just being nice, believe it or not, they do actually go a long way. So.
Yeah, when was the last time you had pizza in general?
I actually had it. Like I had it last night because
Oh,
I also had it for dinner too. So
oh, damn, you were just Jesus, man.
yeah, because
That's...
I still order out from Antonio's.
Oh,
And
really? And
I'll pick it up.
I haven't had outside food in 2 months now, so I'm
Yeah,
kind of craving some stuff.
we try at least once a week to get stuff from Roses.
Oh,
So
really?
obviously
Yeah,
Michael works there,
I
so he
just want
gets
to keep
money
the
off.
business going.
I've been craving
Yeah.
some Chinese recently, man. Like spring rolls and some like chow mein and all that stuff, dude. I
Dave,
need
I
some
promise you
Chinese.
this: if when all this ends, we'll get Chinese food because I
We'll
already
get-
gotta
we'll-
go with Carter to Dragon Kitchen down in Seymour.
Oh yeah.
So when that's all open, we'll all get Chinese because
All right.
I want some.
Yeah, same, dude. I'm starved for Chinese. All right, what do you hate, Matt?
What do I hate? Oh, shoot, I had it and now I lost it. Dave, go do your thing. You like. Do your thing.
All right. Things I like.
I gotta remember to write these things down because when I write
Yeah,
them down,
honestly, we
they're
should
right in
start
front of
doing
me,
that.
And then I'm not pissed at the end when I don't remember it. So go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, things I like right now. I've been listening to Rush. Obviously, we know that one of my favorite drummers of all time. He died recently, but I've been listening to a lot of Rush. I've been watching his videos, his drumming videos. He's trying to get better. The guy was an animal, man. Like usually celebrity deaths or like musician deaths, I don't really care. It's messed up. Like it's it's not really. I don't know them personally, but like the drummer Neil Peart, like I no, obviously I've not seen him or whatever, but like his dying just bothers me a lot because the guy was phenomenal. He was influenced billions of people, or not billions, but millions of people with drumming and all that stuff. So, but yeah, no, I've been listening to that. I'm enjoying myself. That's what's been keeping my mind sane so far with this virus thing. Things I hate. So, all right. So now Joe Kometz. All right. So we have this group chat. We're in. What is it called right now?
It's something they changed it again.
Yeah,
so
we're
we
not
always
gonna
we always
there's not.
And anyway, so okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm not saying that.
okay, so now this ties back to the duck lips thing because I was making a joke last time. I forget what the context of the joke was, but I was basically mocking the duck lips thing, right? And there was a filter that show like you could basically like kind of it makes your eyes kind of smaller and makes you like your whole like the whole like I don't know this part of your face like expand. So anyways, I made a joke. I put it in the group chat. And for some odd reason, Joe has been just blowing that thing up. It was a joke, by the way. It was a joke. And every time I say something or anything at all, Joe puts that, like, after I say something, he puts that sticker up there. Joe, can you show them the picture I'm talking about?
Talking to
All right. Yeah, stop doing the Canadian, Dave.
Okay, sorry. All right. So I made a joke. It was a joke. All right. And every time I say something, Joe puts it up there. And that's been annoying me
Yeah,
so
I just sent it into the group chat, buddy.
much.
the ultimate trump card.
God, I hate
Dave,
that so
because
much.
David, it's the funniest picture
No,
you will
it's not.
ever see.
Every time
Ever.
you post, I want to punch a child in the face, dude. I want to punch an actual child.
What did you even say, Dave? Did you say anything?
Dave, I told Dave, whenever you say something irrelevant in the group chat, I will send that face. And you
Stop.
do it a lot.
God,
Dave, you sent a meme today.
it was pretty funny. I thought it was funny. All right.
No, it was not.
I would
Where
admit I
was
have
it?
a shitty sense of humor. My sense of humor is not the greatest. I know that.
Where was it? I don't know where it is. There's so
It's
much. We
certainly
talked a lot
different.
in this chat today, so I don't know where it is.
Okay, hold
Damn
on.
it!
I probably have
You
it.
sent one. It was like I don't know where it is. I don't care. I don't care. The point is, Dave, I will never stop sending that sticker.
You should
It was too
because it's
funny.
annoying me, Joe. I want to beat you up.
It is the greatest thing of all
Sleep
time.
with one eye open, my guy. Sleep with one eye open. I'm gonna bring a crowbar to your room and take your
Dave's
kneecaps.
gonna start throwing food in your backyard. And
Dave, hate to
raccoons
say
are
it,
gonna
but if I
attack
get
your
hurt,
house.
they can just look at this podcast and be like, "Oh, I know
that's
who
right.
our
I'm
prime
gonna
suspect
start throwing
is."
food at the back of your yard, and I'm gonna bring some more raccoons and
I
skunks.
told
over
my
there.
parents that story, and my dad was like, "Why?
It's
Why?"
not my fault. Again,
Joe, that has happened just so many times. Like I'll just say something Dave did.
talks, it's
My
like,
parents will be like, "What is wrong? Like, what is
I
he
know.
thinking?"
we love you, Dave. We do.
I don't
Dave,
know.
someone should write a book about your mind. Call it The Mysterious Mind.
My mind is an enigma, guys. I'm really.
It really is.
I would read that book.
You know what? I'm gonna start it tomorrow. I'm gonna write my book. Things I think about.
Just get a live stream of what's going on in Dave's brain. That would be electric.
Speaking about live streams, I'm kind of down to stream like the draft. Because I said you said, Joe, we might do it all together. I'm down to like bring a camera and like maybe not live stream it, but get like some footage of kind of our reactions. I feel like that would be pretty interesting.
That would be something.
That could be big, guys.
Yeah.
Not calling it official or anything, but something to consider.
We haven't had human interaction in over a month.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good idea.
Well, obviously, they have to keep the 6-foot radius away from each other, but honestly, it's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, honestly. So, all right. Have you figured out what you hate, Matt?
I just hate everything.
Okay.
Just hate the world right now, bro. Like I just hate it, bro. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know, Dave. What do I hate?
You hate not remembering. Yeah, spins.
I hate not remembering stuff. I hate being tired. I hate not being able to do my job anymore properly. Like I used to be good at my job, I used to go to work and be like, people would be like, Matt, man, dude, you're real smart. And then now it's kind of like, I go to work, I get tired, I make a mistake, and now everyone's like, Matt, what is wrong with you? I'm like,
damn.
I don't know, guys. I used to be good at my job, but now my job.
Just get an assistant, dude. Hire an assistant. Be like, yo.
Ooh, an assistant.
Yeah. And someone could keep track of your things and
maybe someone with some glasses.
No, not me. Nope, not me.
No, I was just gonna say Joe.
Oh yeah.
Why would I say you?
I mean, we both have
glasses. You as
my
assistant. God. You wouldn't even show up half the time.
All right, Joe. Okay. False, but all right.
It's a joke, Dave. It's just a joke. No worries.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right. Until the next podcast, everyone. Thanks for listening or watching, however you're consuming this content, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Peace out.
Adios.